I've been collecting Funko Pops for a very long time now, and recently I've been seeing the overall quality of the products being made by Funko kind of going down. Don't get me wrong, Funko is still producing some really cool figures, but I feel like they're slowly starting to become a big cash grab. Now, a pretty current example would be the Blacklight figures. We saw this a few years ago with the gold chrome figures, where they were literally taking basic molds of characters that we've already seen and just turning them to chrome. Even things that didn't make sense, like these different chrome Hulks. Did anyone even ask for these? Like I said, we're starting to see this with the Blacklight figures, but I feel like the Blacklight figures are a lot cooler than the chrome figures, but still, we're starting to get random characters that no one asked for in Blacklight form. Now, the passion that I used to have for Funko just isn't there anymore. Just like my hair. It's not there anymore either, get it? Yeah. But I still love Funko and I'll continue to make content on the figures that I buy. I just buy what I like and I don't buy what I don't like. It's quite that simple. I'm not gonna go around criticizing people for what they do with their money, because at the end of the day, it's their money and not mine. Before we get started with today's video, I wanna let you guys know about Whatnot. Whatnot is a very awesome app that you can buy, sell, and auction off pops on. It's a really cool app. I highly recommend checking them out if you haven't yet. And if you haven't downloaded the app yet, check out the link in the description below and download it using my link in the description below to get $15 on the app when you first download it. $15 is pretty much a free Funko Pop. So if you want a free Funko Pop, use the link down below and download Whatnot. Most of the time when I see criticism for pops online, it's typically people who just think they're too cool for Funko Pops and they attempt to belittle people who collect them. So today I want to take a look at a bunch of different blogs that I found online talking about criticism towards Funko Pop. And the first one today comes from Reddit r/unpopular opinions from the user CSGO Bobster. So the title for this is Funko Pops are ugly and overpriced and a big waste of time. Now keep in mind, this is posted under r/unpopular opinions. I don't understand this is an unpopular opinion. I've seen this a million times on the internet before, so this is definitely the wrong place to post this opinion. But let's still see what they have to say and let's see if they can give a good explanation on why they're ugly, overpriced, and a big waste of time. So my friends collect Funko Pops and I don't understand why. My friends who are teens have collectively spent over $1,500 on these little things. Yeah, that does sound pretty stupid. I can't imagine being a teen who spent over thousands of dollars on Funko Pops. First, Funko Pops are ugly. They all look the same and the business has tricked you into buying them over and over again, even though they do not look appealing in any way. Now this I can actually agree with. Funko has been doing this a lot where they just take pops they've already released but made them either glow in the dark, flocked, chrome, blacklight, scented, you name it. They do everything they can in their power to get people to continue buying the exact same figure no matter what it is. I mean, I'm not even gonna defend myself over this. I own 30 different Rick Funko Pops, I own chrome Funko Pops, I own glow in the dark Funko Pops and the common version of that glow in the dark pop, so I'm pretty guilty of this. But when the original poster says they don't look appealing, I just find that quite weird because anything that looks appealing to one person might look differently to another, if you get what I'm saying. It's purely subjective. I mean, it is r/unpopular opinions. It's solely someone's opinion. They can look appealing to someone and they might not look appealing to someone else. Secondly, they're a waste of time. Imagine collecting Funko Pops that you think will be rare in the future to find out, guess what? They have been mass produced and worth nothing. Collecting these things is a waste of time. Not to mention that they are cheap pieces of plastic or vinyl. Now, I don't think every collector of Funko Pops collects in hopes that something becomes rare or worth something in the future. I think people like to collect certain things from different lines that kind of relate to something in their childhood, maybe something they like currently, or just something that they enjoy, just something they enjoy. And it's also very rare for me to buy a Funko Pop and it ends up being worth less than what I paid for it. Typically when I buy a pop, it stays around the $15 to $20 range, which is what I pay for the pop. Unless it's a very popular character, of course they're going to overproduce that and it's going to be worth less than what you paid for it just because it's overproduced and everyone owns it. Most people collect just because they like the character. Not everyone collects in hopes that it's going to be rare. And if you're hoping that it's going to be rare or worth value in the future, you're definitely not going to pick up a common Pikachu in hopes that it's going to go up in value. Now, I wouldn't necessarily consider collecting to be a waste of time. It's a hobby for people. And if that's the case, I guess you can consider any hobby a waste of time. Lastly, they are extremely overpriced. This business hasn't even done the exclusivity trick that Supreme and Gucci do. They just put them out and slap a $15 price tag on them. You are paying for worthless pieces of plastic. Just stop. Now, I don't quite understand this. They're saying that Funko doesn't have exclusivity to it, which they do. I'm sure you can see many of the pops behind me. We have New York Comic Con, Funko Shop, Chases, Baskin Robbins exclusives, Target exclusives. There's so many exclusive pops. And some pops do have limited drops, just like Supreme or Gucci, like you mentioned. For example, Pulpo right here is limited to 2,500 pieces. So by saying they're not up to date with the exclusivity, just like Gucci or Supreme, is quite stupid because they are. They have been making exclusive since the birth of Funko Pops. I think the first Funko Pops were exclusive to San Diego Comic Con. The post summarized basically says, Funko is a huge cash grab, pops are ugly, and that they're a big waste of time. And there's over 100 different comments on this post, some of them disagreeing with the original poster and some of them agreeing. So let's take a look at what they have to say. Black soulless eyes, and most of them have no mouth, even when the mouth is a defining characteristic of the character it's based on. I Hate Everything on YouTube did a video on them. I'm guessing someone might ignore the ugly, lazy design because it's a representation of their favorite character, but for a little more money, you could get a much more detailed action figure. I can definitely agree with this person on the fact that some Funko Pops do look very ugly and they do have soulless black eyes and nothing to it, but those are probably older pops. Most modern day pops that Funko is releasing are full of detail and look extremely cool. So I definitely have to disagree with you on that. That one's just purely opinionated. There's nothing to it. Like, if they find them ugly, they find them ugly. I don't think most pops are ugly. Some pops are ugly. I can agree with you on that. Just like this teapot. What is this thing? It is terrifying. Look at the Ninja Turtles from the 90s. It's amazing how detailed they are. Now we have these pop figures. I find it an example of how most forms of media have become. Bland, uninspired, don't take any chances, one size fits all, no size fits anyone type stuff. I don't think the Ninja Turtle pops look that bad. They're turtles as ninjas. What more do you want? There are some very rare Funko Pops worth well over $700. Like the Planet Aurelia Vegeta, plus usually all Funko Pops gain price, but not all are inflating at the same speed. I totally agree with this comment right here. There is definitely a lot of pops that are worth quite a lot. At the end of the day, it just comes down to the popularity of the pop, and also if the pop is super limited. And of course, if it's a very boring pop that's not limited to anything or exclusive to anything that no one wants, of course it's gonna be worth nothing. I can't see the appeal based on the laziness of their design and all looking near the same. Creativity is an all-time low here. People must really like that aesthetic now. Since these things are still popular, it's probably like Beanie Babies. Now I hate when people say this so much, and it blows my mind that people think this is a good connection whatsoever. Beanie Babies ultimately fell off because they were just animals, nothing else. Pops are franchise. People are gonna have personal connection to the different franchises that they're doing. You get what I'm saying? Not everyone's gonna have a personal connection to a platypus. Funko will never fall off like Beanie Babies. There's so many franchises connected to Funko that will just continue to bring them money. So I don't think they're ever gonna fall off. That's just stupid.
Funko has brainwashed nerds into thinking they are must-have items.
They look like the Hello Kitty versions of popular characters. I've made a post here like this before, and this literally might be the only place on Reddit where you say they're stupid and not get brigaded by a bunch of butthurt collectors of them. This is exactly what I'm talking about at the beginning of the video. People like to think they're too cool for Funko Pops, and they like to belittle people who collect them. You don't have any actual argument there whatsoever. You're just attacking people, and you wonder why you get brigaded when you don't like provide an actual argument. Like, it makes no sense. That sums it up, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like pops, so be it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't hate anyone in today's video. They all have their own opinions, and I totally respect them. And for the most part, I can agree with some of the things they say. And at the end of the day, guys, people have their own hobbies. Let's not criticize people for their hobbies. And also, people collect what they like, so let's not criticize people for collecting what they like. Subscribe if you're new here. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.
Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, number drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the grow. Never ever fall for a party that's a no.
Just pop the Kenny about a million options, so just talking to stop doing agreement. I'm